with a chew. Hope you're well today. Hope you're feeling grand as well in your world. We're doing another Q&A Wednesday. Really must breathe more. Okay, let's get to question one straight away. Is it possible to get a Fender clean sound out of a Marshall amp? Not really. I mean, you could probably approximate, but it's never going to be 100% Fender. You know, Marshall doesn't sound like Fender, and Fender doesn't sound like Marshall, and they complement each other, but they don't sound like each other. If that makes any sense. I mean, there are pedals out there, like you can get a bassman pedal, and you can get all sorts of other pedals that kind of like simulate Fender-esque kind of amps, and you run them into anything, and it kind of gives you that kind of tone quality. But plugging straight in, you could probably get a fairly close approximation on, like, say, on a clean channel, but the thing about a Marshall clean is it's always got a little bit of grit to it. Even if it's like super clean, like say like the MGs, there's still something in the clean tone that kind of differentiates it from a Fender. If you know what I mean, it's like it's not the same thing. You can't. It's really hard to explain. But they don't sound the same. They don't have the same kind of tonality. The EQ doesn't work in the same way. The mid range and the treble and the bass. They all work in. They don't work in a different way. So I wouldn't say so really. I mean, if you want that Fender sound, then you know it really is kind of like, you know, a Fender amp thing. Really, unfortunately, more than anything. I mean, like I say, you could get close with a Marshall, definitely, but it's never going to be 100%. There's always going to be a little, you know, there's going to be too many variables. Really, at the end of the day, it's not going to sound exactly like a Fender amp would, because they've got their own distinct sound. A Marshall have their own distinct sound. It's like any amp model, really. It's like, you know, the Orange doesn't sound like the Marshall doesn't sound like my PV Bandit, the PV Bandit doesn't sound like, you know, whatever other amp I've used or what anyway. So yeah, I'd say you could get close, but you're never going to get it 100%. You could probably get about 60-65% close to like a Fender sound of a Marshall, but it's never going to really be bob on. I mean, there's too many different kind of things with a Marshall to a Fender, you know. But yeah, I mean, you could get close, but it's never going to be 100%. I hope I answered your question, though. Everybody, feel free to chime into the comment section. Let him know your experiences as well with this, because I'm very curious about this one actually. Can you kind of get that snappy, glassy Fender sound out of any other amp other than Fender? Because I found you can kind of get it out of something like, oddly enough, Blackstar, but they're kind of like that kind of American kind of voiced amp anyway, and Mesa Boogie do a really good kind of like Fendery kind of sound. Marshall's not so much, Orange not so much, Vox not so much. I mean, they're all Vox, Marshall, and Orange are kind of mid-rangey, whereas like Fender, Mesa Boogie, and Blackstar are more kind of like, you know, higher end, you know, high treble, high mid kind of sound. So I wouldn't really, you know, I wouldn't really say you can get Fender sound 100% out of a Marshall, but you can get close. But like I say, let us know your experiences in the comment section below, everybody, and let's help this fella out. Okay, so moving on to question 2 now. Okay, so question 2 today. In your opinion, what's the best way to figure out new chords in a song by ear? Right, I'm actually going to do a video on this a bit more in depth, but I'll quickly go over it, and I've spoken about it before. But what I recommend doing to just, even if you know, not new to kind of using your ears to figure out songs, is well, so if I use my backing track I just used, and I can't remember, say for instance this is a brand new song, a backing track that you heard at the beginning is a brand new song, and I'm trying to figure out the chord progression, what I would do is I would try and find the notes on the low E string. So for instance, if I played a backing track, okay, so there's the first note, boom, and there's the chord, and it sounds like a minor chord, it sounds sad. So I would do this. Oops. I think it's an E. basically try and find that note. I'd match it. I'd go one at a time if I had to. So, no. So, you know, you kind of go up the chord, so to say, until you kind of like get to here, and you're like, no. You know, and then you find the right kind of notes. That's what I would do. That's how I kind of figure out songs. Is I try and find the notes on the low E string, and then figure out if they're major or minor by listening to them and finding what they sound like. And if I can't quite guess 100% the first time what major or minor they are, I'll kind of play around and go, is it that? No, it's not. It's that. So you can kind of hear, you know, when you're wrong. Because if I played the major with that, hear it clash, where if I play the minor, you know, it works together. So what I'd recommend is literally go note by note in the song, like, you know, like for instance, like the chord progression on here. Well, I'll just make one up. And what I would do is I'd pause it, I'll try and get the first note, so I'll go, right, okay, so that's the first chord, got the first one, and then I'd play it to the next chord and go, right, what's the next chord, and then do the same thing again, trying to find that note on the low E string and find it. Okay, it's a C, and then I would keep going next and kind of repeat that process and just try and find every note on the low E string, because let's face it, it's going to be in here it's going to be on here. It can't be anywhere else. It's all going to be on the low E string. It's in there somewhere. So yeah, I would do that. I mean, I want to do a video on this a bit more in depth on, like, you know, learning to use your ears and just trying to, like, you know, hear the notes that you hear in a song, and also hearing notes in your head that you want to play. Like, say for instance, you want to hear like a da 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 da. It'll give you the ability to kind of hear something, hum something, and then play it. So I'm gonna do a video of that on some point. But that's what I'd recommend, is listening to the song chord by chord, pausing it, and trying to find that first chord, and then repeating that process for the second, third, fourth, fifth, how many chords the song's got, and just trying to piece it together. So say, for instance, like, you know, you know your first one's an E minor, you know your next one's a C, next one's G, next one's D, you know, just trying to, like, figure out from that where it's going, you know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. Using your ears and kind of just going into that kind of thing, it is hard work and it does take a lot of time, but it's so worth it, and I can't recommend it enough to any guitarist to you know, to really use your ears. And it's frustrating, and you'll get annoyed, and it won't work straight away, and sometimes it won't work at all, and you'll have to go away, and I've lost my plectrum. But you know, eventually you will get it, and you know, it will stick. Not all the time. I still have difficulty now. I have difficulty figuring out a song if I can't hear the bass. If I can't hear the bass guitar, I don't really struggle, but I do struggle to figure the song out. I really need to hear the bass guitar. I really need to hear that, you know, the real nice root notes of the song. Otherwise, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I've always warmed to that kind of sound a bit more, but especially when figuring out songs. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Like I said, I will do a video on it at some point. But like, try and find the notes, because they will, for the chord, the root note of the chord, because it will be in here somewhere. It'll be on the low E string somewhere. It can't be anywhere else. That's all the notes you've got on the guitar, up to the 12th fret on your low E. That's all the notes you'll ever have. So, you know, regardless of how many strings you've got, you've only ever got those 12 notes. And some of them won't work. So, you know, just go up and down that low E string and piece and pick out the root notes of each chord, and then piece them together, and you should get along. But anyway, I hope that's answered your question. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to do a bit more of an in-depth video of that at some point. But yeah, I hope that's answered your question. I'm going to move on to question 3 now. Oh, and by the way, always love to hear everybody else's opinions on these questions. So let me know, how do you figure out songs by ear? Let me know if there's a certain way you do it. And I say, we'll help this fella out as well. Because my way might not work for him, somebody else's way might. So let us know in the comment section below how you figure out songs by ear as well. Okay, so moving on to question 3 now. Okay, so question 3. Do you have any suggestions on how to get John's tone using a Fender Super Champ? I get asked this quite a lot. How can I get John Frusciante's tone out of a Fender amp? With any Fender amp, you're going to struggle. A lot like the question 1 in today's Q&A about how to get, like, you know, a Fender sound out of a Marshall. You can't really do a Fender sound out of a Marshall, and you can't really get a Marshall sound out of a Fender. So you're going to struggle to get John's kind of, like, you know, that. Oh, got reverb on. Let's turn that on for a sec. You know, you're going to struggle to get that kind of edgy, clean breakup thing through a Fender amp because they're not voiced in the right way. They don't have the right kind of mid-range. They don't have the right kind of gain structure. Fenders. They just don't kind of work. But, and there's a but. If you use a pedal like, say, like I'm using the Marshall jackhammer on the overdrive setting, or like say the Tone City Golden Plexi, you can get Fender amps to break up like a Marshall if you run them on really low gain settings. So what I'd recommend if you're having trouble with your Fender amp, I would say what you want to do is you want to go out and buy, like, so I always say it, but and I probably sound like a broken old record now, but the Tone City Golden Plexi and the Marshall jackhammer are some of the most amazing pedals to get that John sound. I've had a lot of people ask, will a compression pedal do that thing? Not really. Will an MXR microamp do it? Not really. I would recommend these pedals, really, at the end of the day. I mean, those two pedals, again, I can only speak from my experience. That's what works for me, but the way they react to the WH10 and the DS2 is enough for me to be sold on it and not bother looking anywhere else now. I'm quite set with this, you know, with these pedals. So, but like I say, if you're going to go straight into a Fender amp, you are going to struggle getting that John clean breakup tone because it's just not voiced that way. You won't have the right gain structure in this, that, and the other. But if you get a Marshall voiced pedal, say like the jackhammer or the Golden Plexi, then you can use that to simulate that you're playing through a Marshall, basically. So that's what I would recommend you do, really. I wouldn't try and lose sleep over trying to dial it in on the Fender amp. You're going to be there forever, and it'll probably never get as close as you would like it to be, because it's really, you know, it's a real. John's tone really relies on that mid-range thing and that gain thing more than anything else. So yeah, I mean, I would go out and get like something like a jackhammer or a Tone City Golden Plexi, and they're really inexpensive pedals and they're amazing. I would hoard Tone City Golden Plexis and jackhammers if I wasn't so horrendously poor. No, but I'm joking. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I would say. Other than that, you are going to struggle because, like I say, Fender amps don't sound like Marshalls, and Marshalls don't sound like Fenders. It's just one of those things. They're both voiced differently. But I hope that's answered your question anyway. But like I say, I would just go and get a Marshall voice pedal and run that in the front end and use that to basically enhance the Fender's clean tone and drag it into that kind of Marshall mid-range kind of territory. So anyway, I hope that's answered your question. Moving on to question 4 now. Okie dokie, question 4 today is what's your favourite guitar body shape and what do you think of the Deftones? Well, first off, Deftones, they're not really my kind of style of music. I don't have anything against them in any way, shape or form. I really think they're, you know, in all fairness, they are. I mean, I've heard a lot of their music over the years, and especially when I was younger, and they are a really, really good band. But the music to me, it doesn't appeal to me. I've said this a lot before. For music to really appeal to me, it has to kind of go inside and you know, and do something for me kind of internally, not kind of externally just hearing it, so to say. It has to move me, so to say, for me to kind of really get into it and love it. And music like that, as much as I do love that kind of, you know, that heavy-esque kind of thing, it doesn't really do it for me. But I haven't got anything against them, and I think they're a really cool band. But it's not really my kind of style of music I listen to, really, to be honest with you. Excuse me. But yeah, you know, it's to each their own at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody likes or doesn't like. It all that matters is what you like, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or what anybody else says. At the end of the day, you like what you like, and that's just the way it is. You know, if you don't like something and somebody says, "Oh, you've been narrow-minded and you should open this and the other," and it's like, well, no, it doesn't work that way. If I don't like it, I don't like it. You know, you know you better than anybody else in the world, and you know what you like and what you don't like. So, you know, it's not up to anybody to tell you that you shouldn't like something or you should like something. You know, it's down to you at the end of the day. So I hope I answered that part of the question. I kind of went off a bit on a tangent there, but favorite body shape on a guitar, the Stratocaster. Oddly enough, I was going to do a video about this on Monday, and it just didn't happen. I had a bad day Monday. In my head, I just had a really bad day on Monday, and I was just like in a constant head battle. So it was just kind of like hard work, and I didn't get it done. But it was going to be a video, and I'm still going to get around to it at some point. And it's going to be a video on why I love the Stratocaster so much. Why the Strat is just the ultimate guitar for me. And it just is. I mean, the body shape, I just love it. I just love the look of the Strat. It's just... If you were to ask me like one thing of why, I couldn't give it. I honestly couldn't give you an answer, because I don't know 100% why the Stratocaster appeals to me so much. Say over a Les Paul or whatever. It just does. There's just something about it that is just perfect to me. In my head, it feels right when I'm playing them. The way they sit on you is brilliant. The way they feel when you're playing them is brilliant. The only other guitar that comes close to a Strat for me is a Jaguar. I mean, I think I've said before, if somebody said you're not allowed to play Strats anymore for the rest of your life, I would just play Jaguars exclusively. And I do play a Jag pretty much exclusively in Dukes Deluded, one of the bands, the band I'm in, because it just fits that band so well. But I do use a Strat as well. I use the Oswald Strat in that band as well. But all-time favourite guitar shape is just the Strat. And like I said, I will do a video at some point of why, and I'll let myself ramble a bit and explain why I love the Strat so much, because we'd be here forever, and I thought I might as well dedicate one video to it. And I wish I'd managed to get it done on Monday, but damn you. But yeah. The Strat, favourite body shape in the world. I do love Les Pauls, I love SGs, I love the BC Rich Mockingbird. That is like one of my guilty pleasure guitars. I want a BC Rich Mockingbird so much. I love them guitars. Absolutely love the Mockingbird. They are so cool. I think it comes back to my Slash phase where I wanted to be Slash, and I saw him with that red Mockingbird, and I was like, oh, so cool. And I have played a lot of Mockingbirds, and they are awesome guitars. And they're a great blues guitar. The neck humbucker on a Mockingbird. Oh, blues heaven, I told you. It's really, really good. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, I'll do a bit more an in-depth video at some point on why I love the Strat so much and why it's the ultimate guitar for me. But it's definitely, my favourite body shape is just the Strat. It's just like one of those shapes. It feels like I was born with this guitar, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's really hard to explain. But how about I answer your question now? I'm going to move on to question 5 now. Okay, so question 5 today is, when did you know you wanted to dedicate yourself to music? As soon as I got that bought for me on my 16th birthday, as soon as I got that home and plugged it into my PV Rage amp, that was it. I didn't want to do anything else. From that point on, from being 16 years old, I didn't want to do anything else, and I still don't want to do anything else. I've tried so many other things in life. I've tried sports, I've tried painting and artwork, I've tried this, that and the other, and the only thing I've ever been good at, as much as it sounds like a sob story, is the guitar. It just connects with me on a level that nothing else ever has, and probably ever will. It's just got something about it, and I can't go a day without playing it for at least 5 minutes at least. It's just a release. It makes me feel like me. that probably sounds really silly, but I don't want to sound like I'm sob storying, but gone through being through what I've kind of gone through with this, that, and the other in here and out there. When I've got a guitar, I feel very safe. Without it, I don't feel very safe. And it's always been the same way. As soon as I got this guitar, it was just like, that's what I want to do. That's all I want to do, is make music and play music, and I just want to play my guitar, and I will do anything to make sure that I can do that for the rest of my life. Because I just love the guitar. I don't care what the guitar is, I don't care what I'm playing through, I don't care what pedals I've got, I just love it. I don't care if it's got 1 string, 2 strings, 8 strings, 9 strings. Guitars to me are otherworldly. That sounds a bit weird, but and music is otherworldly, and it, like I said, it just makes me feel safe, comfortable, and just happy to be here now and to be able to have these, you know, these things, these extensions of me, so to say. So, and that's the same thing with music. Is like music and playing guitar is just an extension of you. It should always be an extension of you. It should never be a kind of like a show-offy ego trip. It should be just an extension of what you want to do and what you want to say, not, hey, look at me, everybody, I'm amazing. It's like, you know, I don't go in for that. I don't like that kind of thing. It never appealed to me to be showy. You know, I just play. I just want to play how I want to play, and that's all that matters. You know, and if it comes across as showy, then that's fair enough. But I'm not doing it to kind of be that way. But yeah, as soon as I had that guitar, and then I got the Squire, and then I got my Epiphone Les Paul, and then I got my black Fender Squire, and then I got this, and this guitar, like you all know now, it is just, this is me. It sounds really weird. But yeah, as soon as I turned 16 and my dad bought me this guitar and the PV Ray Jam, that was it. Didn't want to do anything else, and still don't. I just want to play music. I want to play my guitar, and that's all I want to do. And it, like I say, and it sounds like a sob story, but it is like one of the only things I've ever been good at. So, you know, I don't want to look for anything else. I don't see the point. I love doing this, and that's all. You know, that's all that matters to me. I want to play music, and I want to play my guitar, and that's all that matters. And that's what I'm going to do, so to say. So yeah. Anyway, getting a bit funny now. So I'm going to move on to question 6 now. Okay, so final question of the day, question 6 is, what do you think of the Marshall Code series? And I'd love to see a comparison between the Marshall Code and your CR120. I really love the look of the Marshall Code, especially the head. I'd love to get my hands on the head. And I'd love to do a comparison for you all between that and the CR120, and also the MG. I think it'd be a really cool comparison between the Marshall Code and the Marshall MG. But they've upped the price of the Marshall Code head, and that annoys me because now it's beyond my range of ability to buy, so to say. So unless I can find somebody who owns one who wants to lend me their Marshall Code 100-watt head, unfortunately I won't be able to bring it to you, sadly. I wish I could just contact Marshall and they'd send me one, but unfortunately I can't. But yeah, I haven't actually even tried any of the Code series yet. It's supposed to be really good, and I've just read a lot of good things about the Code, and the whole concept of the Code fascinates me, and I've always loved the concept of it since it first came out. So hopefully one day, fingers crossed, I'll get hold of the 100-watt head, because I'm not really a combo kind of guy. I use combos, but I'm not really. I prefer head and cab, even if it's like a 112 cab and a head. But I would love to do a comparison between the Code, the CR120, and the Marshall MG. So hopefully one day, fingers crossed, I'll get hold of that. I tells you that very much, and I'll go down fields and I'll plant it and I'll get more in the summer. I don't know that. Anyway, the inner farmer came out there. But anyway, yeah, hopefully one day, yeah, I'll get hold of a Marshall code and I'll be able to do a comparison video and an in-depth review on it, because I love the look of them, I love what they are, and it really appeals to me. The Marshall code really appeals to me. I am not sold, however, on the new Marshall MG. I think they sound terrible. That could just be the demos I've seen on YouTube, but I think they sound blooming awful. And I don't think they're even trying with a Marshall MG anymore. We're just like, yeah, that'll do. It's not too far off the MG 100FX or the HFX, the newer model, and the Carbon series, which I hate. So I don't think they're trying with the MG series anymore. I think they're pushing more the Origin series, which is another amp I'd love to try. I'd love to try the Marshall Origin. It looks amazing. But yeah, I'd love to try the Marshall code, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get my filthy, grubby little guitar mitts on one, and I'll be able to bring it to you, lovely people of the tube. So yeah, I hope I answered all of your questions anyway today. As I say, chime in on any question you kind of like, you have an opinion on. I'd love to read all your opinions, love to read all your comments. I quickly want to mention at the end of the vid here that Dukes Deluder's album is now available. If you would like to buy a copy, then an email link is in the description below. If you just want to email us your name and address, where you are in the world, we'll get back to you with payment details and how to pay for the album, and then we'll get one mailed out to you. And also, I'd like to mention I've just set up a Bandcamp, which is basically like a music streaming service. I've been sat on tons and tons and tons of music, like 56 songs, for years and years and years, and some are bad, some are good, some are awful vocals, some are okay vocals, they're never great. And I've decided I'm just going to release it all on Bandcamp. So I think I've got like 9 songs on there at this point in time. I'm going to put some more on today and yesterday and tomorrow, and there's just going to be more added every day until I get them all up there. But they're all on there for streaming and for download. They're £1 each download, but you can donate more if you feel so inclined. But no one's pressuring you to do that at all. No one's pressuring you to download them at all. They're all on my Bandcamp, and I say the link for my Bandcamp is in the description below as well. So, but yeah, immensely proud of the Dukes Deluder album, everybody. So, so yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you again for another video on Friday. I'm going to demo the Orange Strat, because it's the Mark III of that, and I'm going to explain about it. So I'm going to talk about that guitar on Friday. And yeah, so and hopefully maybe do a live stream over the weekend maybe. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, for links for the Dukes Deluder album in the description box below, and Bandcamp in the description box below, and also description box below for where to submit your questions for Q&A Wednesday. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again. Have a great one. Goodbye now.